Hello, everyone. This is the first video, as promised, which will be dealing with 3CX setup of incoming and outgoing calls using Voipfone UK service. Prerequisites, the requirements for you to get started with this. The prerequisites for this exercise of setting up Voipfone is you need two things: a free account in 3CX, um, and then a free account in Voipfone UK. 3CX gives a free account over here. I forgot to say that this scenario is for not for enterprise users or big consumers of 3CX. This is more of a individual use or family use, wherein you need to be connected with your family, friends, or any other work-related UK numbers that you need to be connected while you're traveling or you're in a different country. That's what it is for. Not for businesses. I repeat, not for businesses or big consumers of 3CX. You also need to get a UK landline number, which is basically used for getting the calls, outgoing or making outgoing calls. It's very cheap. Compare that to roaming. You have to pay roaming charges as well. If you enable roaming on your UK number, you need to pay roaming charges as well as you need to pay hefty charges for making outgoing calls and also paying for incoming calls. And over here, if you're using this Voipfone service, you are only paying £3.60 per month, including VAT, for a UK number, landline number, and then that's about it. Incoming, as I said, is free. Outgoing is very cheap. I don't have the exact charges with me right now, but it's very cheap. So let's get started, and I'll show you the whole demo of how to go about configuring the 3CX with Voipfone. Just before we get started with the setup and configuration of 3CX and Voipfone, I would like to show you that this video would cover two scenarios, call flow scenarios. The initial one being when the end user wants to route their Voipfone number through to the 3CX app or the PC or Mac client. That would be one scenario. And at the last, after the setup and configuration, there would be a step where you can redirect your personal mobile number to the VoIP phone number, which basically does the same thing of forwarding the number from VoIP phone over to 3CX. So I'll show you that as well. So yeah, just these two scenarios, keep them in mind, and then let's start up with the configuration and setup. So let's get started with the configuration of Voipfone and 3CX. To start with, first of all, we need to get the UK landline number from Voipfone so that we can configure that in 3CX and use it for the incoming and outgoing calls as well. So just go on to, once you have signed in or you have got an existing Voipfone account, just log in and then go into the package builder. Go on to UK phone numbers, and over here you can basically just select whatever you want. I went with the UK local, and then any of the counties or cities which you like, you want the number for, just go ahead with it. I used 0118, but any number, whatever you prefer. Just go in, you can add the number. So just as an example, I'll select Aberdeen, And then the filters, you can do whatever you like, memorable, standard, just select that, and then phone, go into that. It will tell you to select it. So that's selected. And then you can go ahead and do the whole process of putting that in the basket and checking it out. For now, I'll just remove that because I've already done that step. Once you have that, note down the number, whatever you have got, and then go on to services, master account, and then the phone settings. Over here, you will find some details around the SIP username, SIP server, and the password. Take a note of all of these three fields so that it will be required in the next steps when you're configuring the account in 3CX. Once you have copied over all these fields, now you can move ahead and go to the admin console for 3CX. So for 3CX, this admin console URL, you will get that once you have signed up for 3CX. In your email, you'll get the admin console URL. Just click on that, it will come in, and then put in your username, which most probably would be your email address, and then the password. Once you're in, click on admin at the left-hand corner, bottom left-hand corner, and then go on to voice and chat. So what we are doing here is basically creating a trunk, and that trunk is being used to configure the number you bought from Voipfone onto 3CX, and then that trunk will be used for the incoming and outgoing calls, and then rerouting to your 3CX numbers as well. So go ahead and add a trunk. I already have a trunk configured here, but I'll show you from the start how to do that. So just click on add trunk. As I earlier mentioned, that Voipfone UK provider is not officially supported in 3CX, so you just need to use one of the providers. Go ahead, select the country as UK, and then the provider which I have used, and it's been working for quite a while now, is Gradwell. Just select that. Select OK, and then you see these fields. Just give a name. And then for the default route, just leave it as default. What this is for is that the number which you bought, and whenever someone calls to the number you bought, what happens is, because we are attaching that UK landline number as a main trunk number, that number reroutes. If someone calls you, it goes directly onto this user in 3CX. You can change that to select any other 3CX extensions, but for now, just leave it to default. Main trunk number, just give the number you have. And then the SIP user ID and password, as I said previously, these are the values which you get from the Voipfone control panel. Just copy those fields, username, password, SIP user. And also the server name. So I copied that, and then this is the server name, authentication ID, and then the password. Once this is configured, go on to the options. This area is where you configure the incoming call settings for this number. So in 3CX, if you go into options, then from display name should be the auth ID. So that's how Voipfone identifies who's calling in or who's calling out. It needs the auth ID. whether it's for incoming calls or outgoing calls. So over here, we select the auth ID. Auth ID is basically this SIP username. And yeah, that should be it in relation to the incoming and the trunk configuration, incoming calls and trunk configuration. Just select save. And as soon as you select save, if everything looks good, it should go ahead connect. And then if you see this green box over here, that's how it changes to. Otherwise, if there is any issues, it goes into red. If no issues, it shows you green. So we are done with the trunk configuration and the incoming calls configuration. Next would be outbound rules for the outgoing calls configuration. So over here, as an example, I will show you the UK calling to UK numbers, but you can set up literally any country. For this video, I'll just create a UK rule so that you can call UK mobile numbers. So just give the rule name as calls to UK or whatever name you want to give. Prefix the starting number. I gave it as zeros because all mobile numbers in UK start with 07 and then whatever the number is. In total, digits are 11. So that's 11. And then you need to select the root. So root is basically your trunk, which you got from Voipfone. Just select that as the trunk. As the root. If you've got multiple trunks configured, you can just choose more roots. It's just in case that the root 1 doesn't work, then it automatically routes to root 2 and 3, 4, and 5. And then, as I said earlier, auth ID was for the incoming calls. For the outgoing calls, caller ID, again, the same SIP username goes over here so that Voipfone identifies that as a legit user and it reroutes the calls. I'll just quickly go back just in case you want to see other countries, how I configured them. So if I'm calling from UK to any other country, as an example, India, all you do is add the initial international code 0091 and then total number of digits, which is 14, same, and then it works. So this is all configured as far as I can remember. There is one more thing. This is to do with the CLI, which is the caller line identification. So this is useful in scenarios wherein you're calling from 3CX to any other number. The end user who gets the call, he sees a number, and that number is basically, that's what you configure over here. So by default, withheld, when the user gets your call from 3CX app, the user will get withheld or a private number. If you want, you can just change that to the trunk number so the user sees the number, the UK landline number which you bought in this, or you can add your mobile number as well with Voipfone and then just select that, and whenever you call the user, external user, he'll get this number which will be your mobile number, and as soon as they see your number, they'll pick it up. Otherwise, if it's private number, people don't tend to pick it up. So I think this is basically all the required stuff to get you started. Anything apart from that, I don't think there's anything else to configure. As usual, the users needs to be configured so that you can create that tar trunk and do the rerouting. But for now, I think we're all good. Let's test this out. So I'm going to call to a number. I'm going to call the number I bought from a different number I've got. and then it will reroute me to my 3CX app to the default user route which I had. So it will basically, that number will ring on this 3CX number. So I'm going to open the 3CX app on my PC, which is configured to my 3CX number. So I'm going to just quickly give a call and that will ring. So just keep a minute. There you can see that number coming in on the screen. So yeah, that's a successful test that you can use 3CX and Voipfone for staying connected, whether you're in UK, outside of UK. All incoming numbers will be rerouted through the UK landline number. So incoming will be all free. Outgoing, again, that will be rerouted through your UK landline number, and that will be super cheap as compared to having roaming. Now the last step of the setup and configuration of forwarding calls between your mobile number over to Voipfone and then over to your 3CX app. So the previous video, which you saw for the setup and configuration, that basically details you through the whole step. But this one basically shows you that if a user has got a mobile number and he wants to redirect all the calls from his mobile number over to 3CX app without informing the external user of whether there would be no change in number, just call your mobile number and they would simply call your mobile number, and then that will redirect your mobile number to Voipfone, and then the background work happens seamlessly. You don't have to give any of your friends and family your new Voipfone landline number. You just tell them to call on your mobile and it works. Just go onto your mobile phone. If you're using Android, this is how you do it. But for iPhone, it would be very similar. If you go into the call settings, and you should have something called as call forwarding. So just if it's Android, just go into the call icon in settings, over to supplementary services, and then call forwarding, and then you'll have an option to forward the call when it's busy, or always forward, or when it's unanswered. You will have multiple options. Just put in the VoIP phone number in that section, and that should work. So if you found this video helpful, like and subscribe, and don't forget to press the bell icon for future video updates. Bye for now.